Greetings and welcome to another Lessons with Odin. Today I'm going to be going over some fancy fringe. This is part of my Halloween piece from last year, I believe, and I have been requested to go over how I make my fancier style of leaf fringe and to kind of go over leaf fringes in general. And let me know in the comments down below if you kind of like these little basics ones, basics tutorials, if there's any other fringes that you want me to go over. And yeah, just let me know what you would like to see. So I'm going to go over this today. Here's another example. This is from my phylactery pendant. I've used 2 different rounds, and I've kind of embellished the fringes by using a 4mm, I've used both 4mm and 3mm bicones to kind of accent the piece and kind of make it sparkle a little bit more. This one I've used a top drill bicone, but today I'm going to kind of be going over the top section fringe and kind of how to do a little bit of a basic fringe. Yes. So you'll basically just need whatever anchor piece you want to attach your fringe to. I just threw together this section of peyote just for the lulz. You will need whatever seed beads you want to use for your fringe, and then whatever accent beads you want to use. I have some 4mm bicones here. You can use bicones, you can use rounds, you can use whatever. Generally, things with more sharper lines and edges will give you a more leaf-like appearance, because I've got some dragon scales that I use for the very tips and these, and yeah, play with your options. Daggers would be cool, and it's all a matter of what look you're going for. So let us get started. Now, to kind of break down what you want for a fringe, you're going to need to think about a few things. First, how many leaves you want in your piece, how many spaces in between each leaf, and generally how high between your anchor piece you want the first strand to be. Generally, to make things simple, I think of a rule of 3s. 3 beads in between each leaf. Leaves are 3 beads long, and go with that. So to start your initial stitch, I have 4 leaves here, and basically the addition of the bottom leaf here. So 3, 6, 9, 12, and the bottom leaf is going to be added on as well, so you have 15 plus your additional beads. Personally, I think 3 is the most balanced leaf form and kind of looks the most leaf-like. Anything smaller would kind of look stumpy and stick-like. There are applications for larger ones, like with, for example, this one I've used 4 beads, which is pretty cool. But, again, it's a matter of preference and what you want to do. I'm going to start by adding on 15 seed beads. Okay, and once I've added my 15, I'm going to pull it all the way down to my anchored patch. Now, what I'm also going to add is 1 bicone and another seed bead, because this represents the start of our leaf here. This is the very end. We have our extra bicone and the extra anchor point here. So I'm going to pull those down so that we end up with something like this. Now I'm going to start the fringe by passing back up through the bicone. So this is essentially what we've got going on here. We've just passed through the bicone. Now all we need to do is add on 3 more beads to go to the right side and pass up again. So I'm adding on 3 seed beads, pulling them down. I'm going to count up on the main chain 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go up the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. 2, and 3. Like so. I now have the start of our first leaf, and from here, I'm ready to add on our second branch. So what I'm going to do is add on 3 more seed beads, a bicone, and another seed bead. I'm going to pull that all the way down. And just like we did at the tip, I'm going to change direction by passing through just the bicone. And we make sure that our fringe branch has stuck out from there. Okay, now to kind of see what we are. In order to go back to our original chain, we need to add more seed beads. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add on 1, 2, and 3. And now we need to set up to go to our next leaf. So I'm going to completely disregard this chain down here. I'm just going to pass directly where this join is and go up 3 seed beads. I got 3 on the needle like that. Pull. And our next leaf should be secure. That is what we will be ending up with. Now, since my manufacturer is a little uneven in the beads, they kind of flop around and do what they want to do, but if you have a more uniform bead shape, they should tend to behave better like this. So, we've stepped up to the next little point where we need to add a leaf. All we need to do is add on 3 more seed beads, a bicone, and 1 more seed bead. Like that. Pull it down. To start the turn, you're going to pass back through the bicone and pull all the way down. Like that. Then all we need to do is add 3 more to make our next leaf, and then pass up 3 more spaces. 1, 2, and 3. Like that. And we have room for 1 more fringe. Now this way it's kind of behaving where like it's going one direction, then the next direction, then one direction. It's not always going to happen like that, but the beauty of the leaf fringe is that the more you have clumped together, it doesn't really matter. It looks nicer regardless. So, we'll add our final leaf fringe. I'll add 3 seed beads, 1 of our bicones, and 1 more seed bead. Pass it down. Pass back through our bicone to change direction. Add on 3 more seed beads to finish the leaf. And then what we're going to do is actually travel back up the rest of the chain. Like that. And since I'm doing peyote, I'm going to take the first bead of that anchor row and go up it. And that is our completed leaf fringe. Now to go to the next one, all I'm going to do is pass down the next peyote, anchor, and pull. And I'm ready to do another piece of fringe. And that's basically it. I personally have found fringe to be a bit of a challenge to me personally, so I kind of wanted to break it down into more manageable chunks and more customizable chunks, so that you guys can take it and apply it to whatever projects you needed to. So I personally have used the 3 bead method with this one. You can of course add more beads in between each chain, but keep in mind that the last one should still be the same. So for instance, if you wanted 4 beads in between each leaf, you will add 4, 8, 12, 16, and then an additional 3, because your leaf is still going to be 3. Unless you wanted to transform all the leaves to 4. In that case, you will still add your initial 16 for the chain, and then add an additional 4 for the leaf, making it 20. And I personally have found this method easier because I didn't have to count as much, because the bicones kind of did a little bit of the place marking for me, so I didn't have to focus too much on where my things were going. But yeah, let me know if you like this little basic series. If you guys want me to do more fringes, let me know. And other tutorials and techniques you want me to go back on. I know I've seen requests for St. Petersburg, which I might do a little bit in the future, but I've got a little bit of a queue going on, so that might be a while before I get after that. But in any case, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what kind of projects you've been creating with any of my techniques. I want to see pictures. If you follow me on Instagram, tag me, odins.musings, and I will totally see what you do, and I will love it forever. But yes, thank you guys so much for joining me in this edition of Lessons with Odin, and of course, if there's anything that I need to be trying out right now, feel free to leave me a comment down below, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to check me out on Twitch if you want to see more of my beading shenanigans. I'm pretty much live each day, every day, mostly during the weekdays. So yes, if you love my live streams, check me out there, and have lots of fun. Bye-bye! You will add 4 here. Oh my god, baby.